Samsung just sold out a $2,900 phone in minutes, with no trade-ins, no discounts, and no real competition. And that tells us something important. People will absolutely buy Samsung phones at almost any price, as long as the product is genuinely interesting. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really helps me keep bringing you more tech breakdowns like this one. The Galaxy Z TriFold wasn't supposed to be a mass-market hit. Samsung took a cautious approach, produced around 100,000 units, and treated it more like an experiment than a blockbuster. But instead of slowly selling out over weeks, the entire stock vanished almost instantly. That's surprising, especially when you remember how shaky the foldable market looked just a year ago. And that's why this matters. For a while, it felt like foldables were losing momentum. Sales were soft, companies were lowering expectations, and some brands were even thinking about exiting the category altogether. Samsung itself expected demand for the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Flip 7 to continue declining. But then something changed. Last year, Samsung actually tried again. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 wasn't just another yearly refresh. It was thinner, more powerful, and noticeably sturdier. The display crease was barely visible, performance was flagship level, and it finally felt like a product that justified its price. The Galaxy Z Flip 7 followed the same idea, with a much more modern redesign and an edge-to-edge exterior display that made it feel fresh instead of recycled. And people noticed. Foldables started flying off shelves again. Samsung increased its sales expectations for the first time in years. Other companies like Xiaomi, Oppo, and Honor also released excellent foldables around the same time, arguably just as impressive on paper, but most buyers still chose Samsung. Why? Because the Samsung name still carries weight. As long as Samsung doesn't attach that name to something that feels like poor value or a compromised experience, like the Galaxy S25 Edge, which struggled with battery life and camera quality, people are willing to trust it. The Galaxy Z TriFold is the clearest proof of that yet. This is a phone with a $2,900 price tag, no carrier deals, no trade-ins, and it's still sold out in minutes. That doesn't happen unless the product taps into something deeper than specs. The Galaxy Z TriFold is one of the only phones of its kind in the world. The only real alternative is Huawei's Mate X-T, which most buyers outside China won't even consider. And even if Xiaomi launches its rumored TriFold later this year, Samsung's position in markets like the US probably won't change much. Samsung didn't sell the TriFold because it's practical for everyone. It's sold because it's bold. It's not like the Galaxy XR headset, which targeted a niche, struggling category. And it's not a phone that sacrifices the experience despite a high price. The Galaxy Z TriFold is new, genuinely different, and unapologetically ambitious. For a lot of buyers, that alone is enough. And this has bigger implications. If Samsung really understands what just happened, we might see a shift in how it approaches future flagships, less playing it safe, fewer half measures, more devices that feel like statements instead of checklists. The TriFold proves that innovation doesn't have to appeal to everyone, it just has to be compelling. It also explains why many people believe the upcoming foldable iPhone will sell no matter how expensive or strange it is. Apple users haven't experienced a foldable iPhone yet, and curiosity alone will drive massive demand. Samsung just demonstrated that clearly. Even Samsung's rumored Galaxy Z Wide Fold, which some people are skeptical about, suddenly feels more viable. If the TriFold can sell out at $2,900, then a slightly more practical but still unusual foldable might do incredibly well too. In the end, the lesson is simple. People don't mind paying premium prices. They mind paying premium prices for boring phones. The Galaxy Z TriFold isn't practical, affordable, or necessary, but it is exciting. And right now, that's exactly what Samsung needed to remind itself. Now let's just hope all this innovation eventually leads to better batteries. I'm still rooting for silicon carbon. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.